Hi everyone, final presentation here. The question is, what is my strongest facilitation skill? Now, one thing I would like to clarify is the fact that I'm going to be doing this presentation from a slightly different angle. I know most of the students in this class are from the organizational development program. The class has been crossed over with the conflict mediation, the program in which I am. So the angle on which I'm going to do this presentation has more to do with that optic of conflict mediation rather than organizational development. Indeed, facilitation is appropriate in both cases. In a case of organizations, a facilitator is responsible of designing the process on which a team will move on towards certain goals. In conflict mediation, the facilitator, the mediator of the meeting, is in charge of designing a process which is to help two, maybe more, but in general, two parties that are in conflict to design an agreement that will work for both their interests. Now, to get to an agreement, of course, there are many steps. Nevertheless, the parties are there because they're in a conflict. So getting over that initial bump in which parties are conflictual to one another is very important. So for that, I'm going to talk about one of the skills that I think it's the best skill that I have. It's not necessarily demonstrable, but I can talk about it. And that is a skill that is not necessarily learned. I suspect that is more innate to my personality, and that is my ability to become very, very calm during a conflict. This, has been proven in my life many times. Either that is conflict with my tenants or between tenants themselves, or I'm mediating a conflict between other landlords and tenants. But not only, even in a situation where I was robbed and I had the gun put at my head, it's always surprising to me how calm I get. It's almost like my entire mind goes into this state in which I kind of zoom out and I have a bird-eyed view of the situation in front of me, and I'm able to see the entire situation, not caught into whatever is in front of me, but kind of more broad. And I think that is a great skill to have, especially as a mediator, and especially helping parties get over that initial resentment that they carry in with them in mediation. The purpose of a mediator is very clear. It is to aid the parties on getting to an agreement. Now, and there are various steps, that a mediator has to engage in. But I do think that the affect of the mediator goes a long way in achieving that purpose. It has, I would say, twofold um, benefit. First and foremost is, as I said earlier, the mediator is able to detach and not get drawn into the conflict, not identify with the hurt of a party or with certain injuries that are happening in front of me, but is able to step back and be a neutral party to the process. I think that legitimizes the facilitator in the eyes of both parties, and I think it helps the process. It helps the mediator guide the process in the right direction. Second, I think it's very important that if the effect of the facilitator is a calm effect, that will reverberate with the parties, and they will find a space to calm themselves down when they're trying to work out their difference with the other party. So for that, I think that my strongest skill when it comes down to a conflict mediation is my ability to be calm and detached and not judge, and be able to set the mediation process on the right path by de-escalating the tension that is usually in a room.